How well do you think you really know dinosaurs? For decades, we pictured them as giant, scaly lizards trudging across prehistoric plains. But startling new discoveries suggest everything we thought we knew may only scratch the surface. From feathered giants towering over ancient forests to cunning pack hunters coordinating sophisticated attacks, these revelations challenge our long-held beliefs. Today, we'll uncover the controversies, expose hidden truths, and reveal the shocking mysteries that continue to reshape our vision of these ancient titans. Brace yourself. The strange and secret world of dinosaurs is far more mind-boggling than you could ever imagine. Over 230 million years ago, Earth was still reeling from a cataclysmic event, the Permian-Triassic mass extinction. This apocalypse wiped out much of life on the planet, clearing the slate for new contenders. In this landscape of devastation, the earliest dinosaurs emerged, small, agile, and far from the colossal beasts we often picture. Among the first was a creature called Eoraptor, barely the size of a modern dog. At a glance, you might have missed it darting among dense ferns or scampering around fallen logs in a humid Triassic forest. But dinosaurs weren't alone. Other reptile groups, many now overshadowed by their flashier dinosaur cousins in the fossil record, roamed the land and lurked in swampy waters. Crocodile-like phytosaurs hunted with massive jaws. Strange, mammal-like synapsids scurried through undergrowth, foreshadowing a future lineage that would one day include us. Why did dinosaurs ultimately dominate while these other groups declined or vanished? Some paleontologists argue that dinosaurs had physiological advantages, perhaps faster growth rates or more efficient respiration, while others insist it was a combination of luck, timing, and opportunistic expansion. Either way, they arrived at precisely the right moment to inherit a world in flux. Their evolutionary spark was slow at first. In these early days, you'd hardly recognize them as the rulers of an age. But they were flexible, cunning, and adapted quickly. While other species clung to old strategies that failed in the post-extinction environment, dinosaurs found ways to outcompete or circumvent rivals. Some experts even suspect that if a few factors had changed, like climate swings or continental configurations, dinosaurs might have shared the spotlight or lost it to other archosaurs entirely. But that wasn't the whole story. Step forward in time. The dawn of the Jurassic period. Continental drift began to reshape Earth's single landmass, Pangaea, into separate continents, triggering environmental upheavals that offered endless new habitats. At the heart of this expansion were the archosaurs, a larger reptilian group that included dinosaurs, crocodilians, and their airborne cousins, the pterosaurs. This was the foundation for an evolutionary explosion. As plants spread and the climate offered lush forests across vast territories, dinosaurs capitalized on these opportunities. This era birthed the true giants, sauropods like Brachiosaurus, Diplodocus, and Apatosaurus, whose colossal frames towered over prehistoric woodlands. Imagine herds of these long-necked behemoths, each weighing more than a dozen elephants, stirring the ground with every step. Their existence raises lingering questions. How did their skeletons support such immense bodies without collapsing? How did they consume and digest the tons of plant matter necessary to sustain that mass? Researchers point to specific tricks in their biology. Pneumatic, air-filled bones that cut down on weight, massive yet efficient hearts, and possibly even specialized lungs or multi-chambered stomachs. But life wasn't gentle, even for giants. The Jurassic also boasted fearsome predators like Allosaurus, which measured over 30 feet long. Fossil evidence includes a Stegosaurus skeleton pockmarked with bite wounds that match Allosaurus jaws, proof of a predator-prey showdown that ended violently. Yet even these conclusions spark debate. Were these marks from active hunting or scavenging on an already dead herbivore? The line between dinner and discoverer can blur after millions of years. In any case, the Jurassic was an age of dramatic diversity and competition, propelling dinosaurs to refine physical traits, behaviors, and survival strategies. Fast forward again, the Cretaceous period. The drifting continents created varied climates, from lush forests to arid plains to coastal wetlands. This fragmentation triggered a new wave of evolutionary specialization as dinosaurs branched into different niches. Suddenly, the diversity of forms exploded, From the horn-adorned Triceratops to the duck-billed hadrosaurs to the towering carnivores that have long haunted our imaginations. Here, of course, stands Tyrannosaurus rex. For decades, T. Rex was portrayed as a lumbering, purely scaly, pea-brained destroyer. But new fossil evidence says otherwise. There's a heated controversy about whether T. rex could have run fast or if its massive thighs made it a slow ambush predator. Some paleontologists argue T. rex might have possessed partial feathering, perhaps a patchy coat around its head, neck, or tail. Skeletal studies also suggest that T. rex had acute senses. Forward-facing eyes hint at strong depth perception, large olfactory bulbs imply a powerful sense of smell, and robust hearing bones suggest it picked up low-frequency sounds well. Did it hunt alone or in small groups akin to wolf packs? We don't yet know for sure, but newly uncovered trackway evidence in other large theropods implies some level of social behavior. Meanwhile, the raptors, like the now famous Velociraptor, were a different brand of horror. Agile, intelligent, and armed with a wickedly curved toe claw, they appear to have been small but lethal. In reality, Velociraptor was closer in size to a turkey than the man-sized monsters shown in movies. And they almost certainly had feathers. Not for flight, but for insulation and display. These new revelations totally flip the script on how we picture dinosaur predators, fueling endless debate about how cinematic portrayals might still underestimate their cunning. Some scientists even speculate that advanced coordination and communication were possible for these pack hunters, challenging the idea that dinosaurs were all brawn and no brain. Despite their fearsome reputations, dinosaurs weren't just about fangs, claws, and monumental weight. In the last few decades, astonishing fossil finds have exposed a more nurturing, intelligent side. Take, for instance, the discovery of nesting sites belonging to species like Maiasaura. Nicknamed the Good Mother Lizard, evidence suggests it cared for its hatchlings extensively, possibly bringing food to young in the nest until they were large enough to fend for themselves. This level of parental investment shocked scientists who once believed dinosaurs simply laid eggs and abandoned them. Beyond care for offspring, new clues reveal communication might have been surprisingly complex. Certain hadrosaurs, dubbed duck-billed dinosaurs, had elongated head crests connected to nasal passages, potentially allowing them to create deep, resonating calls. Could these have been used to warn of danger, establish territory, or attract mates? The specifics are still speculative, but the knowledge that dinosaur calls echoed through primordial forests adds an entirely new dimension to how we view them. And then there's the question of color. For ages, we imagined dinosaurs in dull grays and greens, but fossilized melanosomes, tiny pigment structures found in fossil feathers, demonstrate that some species, like Microraptor, sported iridescent plumage shimmering in the sunlight. Picture a crow-sized dinosaur flitting between branches, shining with a rainbow sheen like a peacock. Such displays might have played a key role in courtship or social rank. The more we learn, the more dinosaurs morph into creatures bursting with character, nuance, and depth. Beings whose existence was far richer than outdated images of roaring monsters. Could some species have advanced problem-solving skills, or even basic group decision-making? A handful of paleontologists point to the evolution of bird intelligence, manifested in the cunning of crows and parrots today, and argue these traits might have roots in their dinosaur ancestors. While we can't interview a T. rex, puzzle over a raptor's nest, or watch a Microraptor prance in bright sunlight, the fossil record leaves just enough breadcrumbs to hint that dinosaurs were no simple brutes. Then came the day the Earth shook. Around 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid, 6 miles wide, hurtled toward Earth. Upon impact near the Yucatan Peninsula, it unleashed firestorms that scorched forests, earthquakes that rocked continents, and towering tsunamis that ravaged coastlines. Dust and debris choked the atmosphere, plunging the planet into a sunless winter. The dinosaurs that once thrived in almost every corner of the globe found themselves in a collapsing ecosystem. Food chains crumbled, climates swung violently, and survival became an impossibility for nearly all large-bodied creatures. Yet the story isn't so cut and dried. Many researchers point to the Deccan traps in modern-day India, where colossal volcanic eruptions might have already been destabilizing global climates. Perhaps these eruptions weakened ecosystems, making them ripe for a knockout punch when the asteroid arrived. Regardless, the devastation was immense. Non-avian dinosaurs couldn't recover from the onslaught. By the time Earth stabilized, some 75% of all species had vanished, including the dominant dinosaur lineages that had reigned for over 165 million years. But that wasn't the absolute end. A branch of small, feathered dinosaurs, avian dinosaurs, the ancestors of modern birds, managed to survive. Today, more than 10,000 bird species carry the legacy of their dino forebears into modern skies. Next time you see a hawk circling overhead or a hummingbird hovering by a flower, remember, you're looking at a living descendant of creatures that once ruled the planet with overwhelming might. Dinosaurs may have vanished from the world in their classic forms, but their imprint is everywhere. Their bones, buried for eons, continue to tantalize scientists searching for more clues about their biology, their behaviors, and their final days. Their modern heirs, birds, still color our landscapes with bright plumage, melodic calls, and extraordinary survival skills, echoing traits honed by prehistoric ancestors. And even though we've studied dinosaur fossils for centuries, so many questions remain unanswered. Maybe new digs will reveal a bizarre species with traits we never thought possible. Maybe scientists will unearth more direct evidence of complex social interactions, further challenging the stereotype of dinosaurs as savage beasts. The truth is, we've barely glimpsed the vast tapestry of dinosaur life. For every skeleton in a museum display, there might be a dozen more still hidden deep in the earth, waiting to be discovered. Imagine the undiscovered footprints pressed into ancient mud. Picture entire nesting grounds lost to time, brimming with eggs that once held tiny chirping hatchlings destined to roam a lost world. So, how well do you really know dinosaurs now? The deeper we dig, the more secrets we unearth, clues that shake up everything we assumed about these extraordinary rulers of a forgotten era. Their story is a mosaic of triumph and extinction, brutality and nurturing, simplicity and sophistication, all wrapped into one epic saga spanning millions of years. And even after centuries of research, it feels like we've only opened the first chapters.